Napuno na nga si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte sa umano'y paninira ni First Lady Liza Marcos dahil sa paninira nito hindi lang umano kay Inday Sara maging sa kanyang pamilya. Ayon sa balita, nais na daw sampahan ni VP Sara ng reklamo sa kinauukulan si Liza Marcos dahil sa mga paratang nito sa kanya na wala umanong katotohanan. Samantala nilabas naman ng ilang mambabatas ang ebidensya na magpapatunay na totoo ang mga bintang nina Liza Marcos at Bongbong Marcos kay VP Sara Duterte.
Noong 5 ng Pebrero 2025, ay inimpeach ng House of Representatives si Vice President Sara Duterte matapos beripikahin at pirmahan ng 215 House members ang Articles of Impeachment laban sa kanya. Alinsunod sa Article 11 ng ating konstitusyon, hindi na kailangang magsagawa ng impeachment hearing ang House kung ang Articles of Impeachment ay pinirmahan na ng 1/3 ng lahat ng miyembro nito. Sa 306 na kasalukuyang miyembro ng House sa 19th Congress, 215 o higit pa sa kinakailangang 102 members ang lumagda sa Articles of Impeachment kung kaya't ito ay agarang na itransmit sa Senado. Bukod sa naunang 215 House members, mayroon pang 25 mambabatas ang dumagdag sa pagberipika at pagpirma sa impeachment complaint. Dahil dito, halos 80% na ng buong House of Representatives ang sumusuporta sa impeachment ni VP Sara. Ngunit bakit nga ba na-impeach si VP Sara? Ano-ano nga ba ang grounds na nakalagay sa verified complaint for impeachment? Nang manumpa siya bilang pangalawang pangulo ng ating bansa noong July 1, 2022, nangako siya sa bayan na pangangalagaan at ipaglalaban ang konstitusyon at ipapatupad ang mga itinakdang batas nito. Ngunit sa loob ng 3 taon niyang panunungkulan, paulit-ulit na nilabag ni VP Sara ang kanyang sinumpaan, kung kaya't siya ay na-impeach sa ilalim ng mga sumusunod na batayan: culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust, graft and corruption, other high crimes. Ang mga paglabag na ito ay patunay lamang na siya ay hindi angkop manungkulan sa gobyerno at nararapat na maalis sa pwesto sa pamamagitan ng impeachment. Narito ang 7 grounds for impeachment na nakapaloob sa articles ng verified impeachment complaint laban sa pangalawang pangulo. Nakasaad sa Article 1 na si VP Sara ay nagkasala ng betrayal of public trust, nakagawa ng paglabag sa konstitusyon at high crime sa kanyang live press con noong November 23, 2024.
Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao, no joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. And then he said yes.
May naunang pahayag din si VP Sara na nagsasabing nais niyang putulin ang ulo ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? Imagine myself cutting his head.
Nakapaloob naman sa Article 2 ng Verified Impeachment Complaint na nagkasala ng betrayal of public trust si VP Sara dahil sa maling paggamit at paglustay ng public funds. Sa 2 taon ng kanyang panunungkulan bilang pangalawang pangulo, nagkaroon siya ng direktang kontrol sa confidential funds na nagkakahalaga ng 612,500,000 pesos na ginastos sa hindi maipaliwanag na paraan. Ayon naman sa liquidation report ng OVP, ang 2022 confidential fund sa halagang 125 million pesos ay na-liquidate at na-disburse mula December 21, 2022 hanggang December 31, 2022 o sa loob lamang ng 11 araw kung saan 4 pa rito ay non-working holiday. 16 million pesos mula rito ay ginamit para sa maintenance at rental ng safe houses na ang ilan ay nagkakahalaga pa ng 200,000 pesos kada araw. Lumalabas na 11,363,636 pesos and 36 centavos ang ginastos ng OVP kada araw mula December 21 hanggang December 31 mula sa confidential funds. Gumamit din ng gawa-gawang pangalan tulad ni Mary Grace Piatos, Kokoy Villamin at iba pa ang OVP sa kanilang acknowledgement receipts ng confidential funds. Sa pagberipika ng Philippine Statistics Authority o PSA, sa 1,992 pangalang ginamit ng OVP bilang mga nakatanggap ng confidential funds, 1,322 dito ang walang birth records at imbentong pangalan lamang. Sa Article 3 ng Verified Complaint for Impeachment, isinasaad na hindi angkop manungkulan sa gobyerno si VP Sara dahil sa bribery at graft and corruption. Sa pagdinig ng House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, inamin ni former DepEd Yusek Gloria Humamil Mercado, DepEd Director Resty Osias at Chief Accountant Runa Catalan na binigyan sila ni DepEd SDO Edward Fajarda ng monetary gifts mula kay VP Sara. Ang mga opisyal na ito ay responsable sa mga bidding projects sa DepEd. Ang hayagang pagpapahintulot ng gawaing ito ay direktang paglabag ni VP Sara sa RA 3019 at RA 6713 patungkol sa Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Ipinapakita naman sa Article 4 ng Verified Complaint for Impeachment ang nagawang paglabag ni VP Sara hinggil sa hindi maipaliwanag na yaman at pagkabigong ipakita sa SALN ang kabuuan ng kanyang ari-arian. Ang pagtaas sa net worth at assets ni VP Sara ay labis at hindi makatwiran para sa isang opisyal ng gobyerno. Hindi angkop ang pera niyang naipon kung pagbabatayan ang sweldo niya sa gobyerno. Sa Article 5 ng Verified Complaint for Impeachment, bukod sa pagbigay ng death threats kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos at Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, nakagawa ng high crime si VP Sara dahil sa kanyang pag-utos na ipagpatuloy ang extrajudicial killings sa ilalim ng Oplan Tokhang sa Davao City nung panahong siya ang mayor nito.
When he started the Operation Tokhang, I was called by him about Tokhang and it was approved by Sara Duterte.
By Sara?
By Sara Duterte.
Because at that time she was the mayor.
She was the mayor at the time.
Nakapaloob naman sa Article 6 ng Verified Complaint for Impeachment na nagkasala ng betrayal of public trust si VP Sara dahil sa kanyang mga gawain at negatibong pahayag na nag-uudyok ng sedisyon at rebelyon laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at sa kanyang administrasyon. At panghuli, sa Article 7 ng Verified Complaint for Impeachment, inihayag ang sukdulang pag-abuso sa kapangyarihan at pagtataksil sa tiwala ng taong bayan ni VP Sara sa kanyang buong panunungkulan bilang lingkod bayan. Ang lahat ng mga paglabag na nabanggit sa 7 Articles of Impeachment ay malinaw na patunay ng betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution, at graft and corruption ni VP Sara. Pinagtitibay nito na hindi siya naaangkop manungkulan sa gobyerno at nararapat lamang alisin sa pamamagitan ng impeachment. Kung mahahatulang guilty ng Senado bilang impeachment court, hindi na rin maaaring humawak ng anumang pwesto sa gobyerno si Vice President Sara Duterte.
Sir, ito bang halimbawa 1 billion sa mga probinsya, one-time deposit to na sa kanila? Halimbawa, kung Tawi-Tawi 1 billion, kung Basilan 1 billion, kung Maguindanao del Norte, mag-ada kayo talagang 1 billion diretso sa land bank tapos i-transfer sa account ng mga probinsya?
Mr. Chair, based on the records for the province of Basilan, for instance, hindi naman ho siya ata one time.
Magkano yung unang release? Halimbawa, ano lang para makita natin? At anong date?
The first release for Basilan was on August 15.
August 15, magkano
Sir,
ang amount?
The amount is 599 million.
599 million?
Wait lang. 599,270,415.
Tapos ang second ho, anong month? Kalaking pera. Masaya ang mga kababayan ko sa Basilan. Daming pera.
The next releases were made on sometime in December 2024, but the releases were made to various municipalities in Basilan.
Hindi, kasama yung various municipality was December. Pero
December,
siyempre,
sir.
kung 1 billion yung sa probinsya, meron pang mga more than 400 million. Anong date din yon na-release?
Yung answer, sir.
Yung sa province of Basilan po, two tranches ang releases dyan. First is August 15, which is 599,270,415, and the second release was made on November 18, 2024, and the amount is 401,240,000 po.
400M, okay. Yung sa Lanao, sa Maguindanao del Norte, doon muna ako sa probinsya, yung 1 billion, ano yung first release nila? Pero sir, halimbawa, kayo sa hindi, sige lang. Maguindanao del Norte, magkano?
Dalawang tranches
Okay.
ang
Yung
gawa.
first tranche.
First is on October 30, 2024.
October 30,
Yes po,
magkano ho?
676 million. And on November 18, 2024, 324
24M. So,
million.
equivalent is sa 1B. Tapos yung tawi-tawi po.
Tawi-tawi ganun po, dalawang beses. Tigpa 500 po.
Atig pa 500 million. Anong
Million,
month
opo.
yung first 500?
First 500 was released August 15, 2024. Second release was made November 18, 2024.
So, 500, yeah. 500 halos pareho, sir. Sir, halimbawa, kayo sa COA ba, pag ganito, alam ko meron naman talaga kayong mga internal rules sa COA. Ako, nung regional governor ako, naalala ko, eto, mga mayor na yan, eto, sila Gob Bombit, nakikipagmuwa yan sa akin. Either ang memorandum of agreement namin, merong laman, sabi ng COA, either 15% mauna, tapos ang sunod is 40, then may matitira, tapos 30, depende sa liquidations. Pero itong mga releases to, itong halimbawa, August 15, nag-release kayo ng 500 million. Bago ba ni-release yung another 500 million, meron ng liquidation na submit sa COA? Siyempre, government fund to, magtataka ka. Release ka ng release, hindi pa nga na-liquidate yung una, tapos mag-release ka naman. Hindi ho to small amount, ha? Kasi mainit nga tayo doon kay Sara Duterte na 125, ito 6 billion to
Mr. Chair, following the guideline issued by the Minister of Finance, Budget and Management, the fund releases are not subject to liquidations.
Are not
based
subject to
on
liquidation?
Bangsamoro Budget Circular number 2024-010,
Hindi subject sa liquidation.
wala pong nakalagay dito that they are
Wala,
liquidate
ma'am,
po.
pakiulit ma'am, medyo hindi maganda ang pangdinig ng chairman pati ni Congressman Acop. Anong sinasabi ng circular at guidelines ng Ministry of Finance and Budget? Hindi subject for liquidation?
Kasi sir, the moment sir na fund transfer po siya sa various local government units.
Yes.
Ang titingin po noon kung yung implementation po ba noon at saka yung actual utilization po ng mga fund release sa mga local government units will be audited by the auditors of the local government units. And based on the guideline issued by the Ministry of Finance, mayroon po ditong monitoring mechanism which is under po siya sa Ministry of
Hindi,
Interior
ma'am.
and Local
Pero
Government.
ma'am, hindi tama sabihin natin na hindi subject for liquidation ninyo. Pero remember, the same pa rin, Commission on Audit yung na-assign doon. Kaya babalikan ko ma'am, yung tanong ko kanina. February 13, sumulat si Minister Pacasem. In fact, ang address niya sa COA, nagtataka nga ako bakit COA. Baka ang iniisip nito, baka singilin nyo rin yung mga residents COA nyo para mag-submit ng liquidation sa inyo. Yun yung effect yung understanding ko. Pero, ang point ko doon, meron kayong residence COA. Kaya tinatanong ko, paano mangyari yon? Hindi pa na-liquidate yung unang releases, pero meron na namang next releases. Di ba dapat kayo sa COA mismo magtataka kayo at magtatanong kaugnay nito? Kasi hindi nga maliit na bagay eh. Hindi siya parang 1 milyon, 2 milyon. Ang usapin dito is 500 million to 1 billion.
Mr. Chair, let me just clarify, no? The word liquidation is not used in the guideline. But actually, the requesting local government unit should submit a report on fund utilization for any previous releases funded by the national government following the template prescribed in the guideline. That is, including their SB or letter of intent to be submitted to the Office of the Chief Minister for approval.
Pero ma'am,
But there is no mention, sir, of the word liquidation kasi the word liquidation usually, sir, is used for advances. So baka lang po kasi magkaroon ng misnomer.
Ma'am, ikaw kasi ang nagsabi nun eh,
Yes,
di ba?
sir. Stand corrected,
kaya
sir. So,
binalik ko lang yun dahil ikaw ang nagsabi. Kaya, pero, the same, uulitin ko, si COA merong guidelines, may residence COA kayo, every unit ng government, local government yan, or agencies, meron tayong mga assigned na COA. Pero, halimbawa, ma'am, matanong ko, anong basis na ninyo, halimbawa, na-release ang pondo, ano yung basis nyo for auditing? Kung wala namang MOA, wala namang guidelines, di ba, wala namang proposal, ano yung basis natin for liquidation? Anong basis natin for auditing?
Again, sir, no, in speaking as the auditor of the Ministry of Finance, Budget and Management, my audit jurisdiction only covers the releases of the funds. Again, no. So, insofar as I am concerned as the team leader, audit team leader for Ministry of Finance, I rely on the Bangsamoro Budget Circular date number 2024-010 as to the documentary requirement and as to the procedure that must be followed. Now, when the funds are already downloaded to the local government, on how it is utilized po, that is already beyond my audit jurisdiction.
Kong Mujib, with the indulgence, Kong Mujib.
Okay.
Attorney, you mentioned about the memorandum circular from the Minister,
Of
di
the
ba?
Ministry of Finance, Budget and Management.
Minister of Finance of the BARM. Attorney, kindly submit to this committee, since wala ditong taga-BARM, may kopya ka ba nun ng MC na yon?
Yes, sir, I have. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now, second, ma'am, considering that BARM is also considered as LGU, malinaw po dito, ma'am, sa DBM mismo circular. Di ba may mga limitations? Sir Renier, may mga limitations on the use of LGSF, di ba?
Correct po, Mr. Chair.
Pati yung quarterly reporting, nandun
Yes
po nakasiplate.
they're required for quarterly reporting of the
Quarterly
utilization.
reporting. Malinaw po yun, attorney. Now, you mentioned about that you only covered the releases, tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, sino yung in charge doon sa sa audit on the implementation and the use of funds?
The concerned resident auditors of the various local government units, Mr. Chair.
Doon na sa baba.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, nagsasabit ng report sa inyo. Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
No?
It's included in their reports, in their separate annual audit reports. They have their own annual audit
At
reports.
ganito na lang po, attorney. Matanong lang po kita. So, yung office mo is not conducting special audit or fraud audit?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
So, sino po?
For the regional officer,
For the regional office,
for
sino?
the regional offices, sir, we have a separate division. We have the fraud audit division who will conduct the fraud audit or special audit in case po na magkaroon po ng instruction to conduct the same.
Sino yung in charge doon sa fraud audit?
Sir, yung ang authority lang po ng fraud audit ng regional office is 50 million below.
Tama.
Opo.
Alam ko po yun.
Opo.
Now, pero sino po ang in charge doon? Sinong in charge
Si
doon?
Attorney Abdul Jalil Iskander po.
Comsec, please invite the fraud audit team leader in the BARM para pong patawag natin next hearing. Now, Attorney, sir, matanong ko lang kayo, based now on, ito opinion na lang, whether you can give an opinion or not, based now on the report, in this initial investigation, does this warrant a special audit or a fraud audit? Attorney.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Usually, sir, I'm not the one in charge in the fraud audit division, no. But as far as I know, sir, whenever there is a request for fraud audit, it has to be evaluated first if it is by the central office, and then later on they will issue the office order to conduct the fraud audit or the special audit.
Pero ang kinukuha ko lang po yung opinion niyo, does this, based on the initial investigation made by this committee, is it does warrant or not?
Again, sir, I am not in position to comment because I don't, as far as I'm concerned as the auditor of the MFBM, the documents submitted to me is not yet, all the documents submitted to me is not yet sufficient for me to conclude the same, sir.
Sir, ikaw, sir.
Ganun din po ang stand ko. I'm not in a position to comment on whose audit jurisdiction has, considering the amount involved. Probably the honorable body can make an inquiry to the higher ups. For us, we cannot, and we are not in authority to, or we are not competent to comment on that particular question po.
Okay, thank you po. Anyway,
Mr. Chair,
please.
Clarification lang po. With the indulgence of the Honorable Mujib Hataman, who has the floor. May I?
Please proceed po.
Madam, did I hear you right? Na yung ini-implement lang po ninyo is you see to it that Circular 202-4010 is implemented by the Bangsamoro government?
Yes, Mr. Chair, insofar as the releases is concerned.
No.
Of the LGSF, because the utilization of the LGSF by the concerned local government units is within the jurisdiction of the concerned auditors.
Thank you. May I ask, if you have already verified whether the LGUs concerned complied with the posting requirements prescribed under Republic Act 9184 as embodied in the circular?
Are you referring to the procurement law, sir?
No, 9184 is the procurement law. But it is required by the circular that you mentioned, 202-4010, that there are supposed to be reports to be submitted by the LGUs concerned. Have you monitored this? Kasi ikaw nag-mention ng circular na ito eh. And I have a copy of that.
Based on item number 410, sir, the monitoring of the implementation and utilization of the LGSF falls on the Ministry of Interior and Local Government, which is another ministry, and they have a separate resident auditors po.
I thought you answered a while ago na kayo po ang tumitingin kung nakukomply itong circular na ito.
As to the releases, Mr. Chair.
I beg your pardon?
As to the releases lang po, Mr. Chair.
Sa releases. So, when the audit report is made, hindi po kayo ang gumagawa?
Audit report for the Ministry of Finance, sir, ako po yung gagawa, sir.
Oh, hindi dapat kasama ito sa report mo, di po ba? Whether they have complied with the requirements of 9184. Kasi embodied sa circular 2 eh. You have to see to it whether the provisions of the circular are followed by the Bangsamoro government. Kasi ikaw nagbabanggit lahat dito. Nakikinig lang
Yes,
po
sir.
ako kanina eh.
Mr. Chair, although the circular was issued by the Ministry of Finance, but it covers other ministries within the BARM. So like for instance, sir, the audit of the implementation and utilization Covered po yan ng mga auditors ng local government units. Yun naman po sa monitoring, kung na-implement ba or na-utilize ba siya in accordance with the guideline, it falls within the jurisdiction naman po kung sino po yung concerned auditor po namin sa Ministry of Interior and Local Government. So insofar as I am concerned po, releases of funds lang po yung aking audit jurisdiction. Insofar as the circular is concerned.
So you do not monitor whether the provisions of the circular are followed by the local government unit?
No, sir. The guideline is merely used as my basis in the audit of the releases, but I am not tasked to monitor that all of the provisions of the circular are complied by the Ministry of Finance. Because again, sir, I would like to emphasize that the LGSF, for the releases and the utilization and implementation of the LGSF funds is multi-agencies po yan, no? Hindi lang po Ministry of Finance ang covered.
Now, to whom does the local or do the local auditing teams report? Sa iyo. Yung local government yun. For example, yung municipal Cotabato. Saan siya nagsasubmit ng report niya? Sa inyo?
No, hindi po, sir. The report, the annual audit report of the various auditors of the local government units is addressed to the local chief executive po.
Mr. Chair, siguro yung auditor na nag-audit talaga ang dapat imbitahin natin.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Yeah.
On the point of Mr. Chair, I move that we invite the resident auditors of the different municipalities and provinces that have been downloaded with funds from the LGSF, Mr. Chair. I also move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion to invite all the residents, auditor of all the ADUs being downloaded by the LGSF fund coming from the BARM. Duly seconded. Any objections? The chair is none. The motion is carried. COMSEC is directed to prepare an invitation for all those resident auditors.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Please
May
proceed.
I ask?
Please proceed, Chairman Akop.
Madam Auditor, hindi naman kayo concerned siguro dito dahil sa mga sagot po ninyo. Pero may alam na po ba kayo na nag-submit ng AOM yung mga resident auditors ng mga LCEs?
Mr. Chair, I cannot comment on that because I don't have personal knowledge as of now.
Okay. Kasi naaawa ako dun sa mga sa mga local government units na tumanggap. Kung totoo yung sinasabi na ibinalik, kagaya ng sinabi ni Attorney Torrena kanina, na ibinalik yung ibang amount, ay kawawa sila. You know why? Kasi if you look at the circular na binabanggit po ninyo, Madam, kanina, under Section 8.0, yung responsibility and accountability, the responsibility and accountability in the implementation of programs and projects and proper utilization and disbursement of the LGSF shall rest upon the LCE. Kaya kawawa yung mga local chief executives na tumanggap nito at hindi nila maisagawa yung project mismo. Kung totoo yung mga reports na naibabalik yung portion o malaking portion ng mga natanggap nila na LGSF. Because pursuant to the circular, sila po ang may accountability at saka responsibility, yung local chief executives. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Akop. Yes, Vice Chair Flores.
Mr. Chair, in addition to my earlier motion, Mr. Chair, may I move that we also invite in our next hearing, Mr. Chair, the COA in charge for fraud audits, Mr. Chair, from the national office, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There's a motion to invite in the next hearing the in charge of the fraud audit in central office. Duly seconded. Any objections? The chair is none. The motion is carried.
Mr. Chair.
COMSEC is directed to prepare invitation for the said COA official. Please proceed.
Mr. Chair, I also would like to request the committee to invite also the branch managers of the land bank Are they here?
Land Bank, regional kayo, no? Land Bank? Sa region? Okay. Region, wala dito. Oh, sige, please proceed.
But just in case we might be overwhelmed with the number, Mr. Chair, may I know how many branches are serving the BARM from Land Bank? Because the point, Mr. Chair, is that I want to also check on the releases of these funds, Mr. Chair.
Land Bank? Ilan bang yung branch daw?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. So as of now po, yung parang po sa Cotabato City pa lang po yung meron kami doon na 5 branches. Pero i-double check po namin dito sa iba pa pong area na covered po ng BARM. Then we will give po the full list of the branches covering the BARM areas.
So may 5 sa Cotabato? Tama po ba?
Opo, meron po.
Okay.
Yun sa may city po mismo, within the BARM
Sa city of Cotabato?
Opo. Pero
Actually, Mr. Chair, I'm just really interested in the branches where LGUs have accounts with. Kasi, like, let's say in Cotabato, if you have 5 branches, hindi naman lahat doon dealing with the LGU. So, can we request, before I move that they be invited, can we request from Land Bank to provide us with a list of branches where LGUs have accounts, Mr. Chair, para ma-limit natin yung number of invitees na lang po. In the Bangsamoro. Yes, sir. Mr. Chair.
Land Bank?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, pero that will help ito sa secrecy of deposit. So, we cannot submit po a list of accounts.
Dito tayo magsisimula. First question pa lang, you invoke bank secrecy. We're just asking if what LGU na may transaction with Land Bank, you invoke bank secrecy? No, hindi natin pinag-usapan dito yung pondo. We're just asking about the list of all LGUs sa Land Bank. Ito, this will be may problema kayo dito. Ako, believe you me, kahit saan tayo pumunta. We're just asking you to comply with all LGUs na may banks, transaction with your banks. That covers in the BARM. Attorney, hindi nyo maibigay? Anong problema doon? Sige nga, are we talking... Attorney, please cite in the specific provision of the bank secrecy law that we are not allowed. Sige nga, are we asking for a bank account? No. Are we asking for bank transaction? No. We are just asking for the list. Now, aabot tayo dito sa chairman nyo. Baka mapahiya kayo, papatawag ko yung chairman nyo dito. Next hearing.
Mr. Chair,
please proceed, Chairman Akop.
don't they have a lawyer with them? May I know what law are you talking about?
Mr. Chair, so the law we are referencing is Section 2 of Republic Act 1405, otherwise known as the Bank Secrecy Law.
It refers to deposits, tama?
Yes po.
Eh kung listahan lang naman ng bangko na merong bank transactions yung mga LCEs, is that part of the deposit?
It is, Your Honor.
It is with the ambit of Section 2 of 1405?
Yes, Your Honor. Because the provision of such a list, Your Honor, would imply the existence of an account. And that is covered by the Bank Secrecy Law.
Attorney, when I asked you, meron bang account si Governor Adjong sa isang bank ninyo doon sa Bangsamoro, is that covered by Section 2?
Yes.
1405?
Yes, Your Honor.
Whether I have a bank account or not?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your interpretation?
It's not our interpretation.
Whose interpretation is that?
It is the position of the Office of the Government Corporate Counsel that advised us that even the mere existence of a bank, to confirm that there is the mere existence of a deposit account with a branch is already invoking the absolute confidentiality of the bank secrecy law, Your Honor. But the exception, of course, is if the good governor would give his written permission.
We know that.
Yes,
We know that. Sa dami ng investigasyon namin dito na ginagawa, alam na namin yun eh. Pero it refers only whether we asked information regarding their deposits. Kasi that is the title of 1405. Di ba? Tama. Pero kung humihingi po kami ng listahan ng mga land bank as asked by the Honorable Flores, is that within the ambit of Section 2 of Republic Act 1405?
Yes, Your Honor. As much as the bank and its representatives would want to cooperate, again, we are constrained by the limitations provided for in the absolute confidentiality of bank deposits.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Ganito na lang po. Attorney, okay lang yun sa ngayon. Okay. If the members of this committee will join me, we will invite the... You mentioned about who from the Office of the Government Corporate... Sino po, attorney? Sino nga?
You're asking for the particular lawyer that
Yeah, and the
opinion.
and the official position nila. Baka mamaya magtuturuan kayo dito.
Sige po.
Sino po?
With permission, I will...
Hindi, sino po muna? Do you have the document?
With permission, I will refer to my files and respond after I check.
Pinag-usapan natin ito, hindi deposit We're just asking for the list of banks. Baka mamaya, ang laman ng opinion ang opinion nila is bank deposits. Attorney, you're under oath.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, please submit to this committee. Not later than today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pati yung sinasabi mong yung opinion nila. Kasi gusto ko rin tingnan yan, kahit hindi ako abogado, titingnan ko yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Mr. Chair, what I actually moved for was just for the list of banks, Mr. Chair, where LGUs have accounts with. Because there are several land bank branches in certain municipalities. Now, it does not take a genius, Your Honor, to know that LGUs deal with land banks. That's why we know for a fact that there are accounts in land banks. But when we ask for specific transactions, then maybe that is a time where the provisions of the bank secrecy law would apply. But my question was really, what are to provide the list of branches where LGUs have specific accounts. But anyway, if the good lawyer of the bank would provide us with the opinion of the OGCC, then we would gladly consider it, Mr. Chair.
No, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair, I still stand that we will invite OGCC on the next hearing. At the same time, the good attorney should produce that document.
I submit, Mr.
With
Chair.
regards to the position. Kasi, attorney, nandun ka sa Silay hearing, sa province ko yun. And this is your second time. Alam mo, ang dami ko ng hearing dito. And I talked to you on the side before this hearing starts. Na the only thing na nagka-problema sa kami sa Cagayan is because the opinion of the OGCC is that dapat may waiver yung governor at saka yung vice governor. Ang problema, okay, yung vice governor, hindi papayag ang governor. But, ayun, bubuksan yung bank deposits. Na ang pinag-usapan natin dito, yung not the bank deposits. We're just asking you to comply with the submission of banks in which local government units in the BARM has a bank account. We're not talking here about this specific detail of such accounts. Kaya pakisabit na lang po. Pati yung sinasabi mong opinion ng OGCC. Thank you. Please proceed, Kong Zia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I have several questions I'd like to ask to, suppose, mga guest natin dito, pero wala po sila dito. But let me just allow me to take off from the line of questioning of Congressman Mujib Hataman. Medyo concerned po talaga kami sa disbursement, Mr. Chair. In fact, according to the guidelines, the regular process that is requested is dapat meron talagang SARO, merong NSA released to the LGU by the FBM through the Bangsamoro Treasury Office, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to ask whether COA would confirm that the documents that you have there complied with all of these requirements. Let me just start out from there.
Attorney, before you proceed, makalimutan ko lang po, I have manifested this and I would like to put in on record once again, and with the, if the members of this committee will join me, for the COMSEC to write an official letter to the chairman of the Land Bank with regards to the query or the request being made by Congressman Flores, if indeed, tama pong sinasabi ni attorney dito. Attorney, you're under oath, ha? Then submit to this committee yung sinasabi kong dokumento. At the same time, I will ask your President, first, second hearing natin, akala ko nga isang hearing lang to eh. Pero pag ganito tayo dito, baka paulit-ulit tayo dito. Now, I will ask your President, I will not invite him, but I might invite him at the third hearing. I will just ask him with regards to your opinion. See, COMSEC is directed to write a letter to the Chairman of the Land Bank with regards to opinion being made and given by the legal department in the person of Mr. Christopher. COMSEC. Thank you.
Do I need to reiterate my question?
Siguro, kasi baka nakaligtaan ni attorney. Please proceed.
Yeah, can you confirm, Mr. Chair, COA, that based on the documents that were sent to you by MFBM, do require or do have already complied with the necessary requirements, say for example, special allotment release order, the SARO, the NCA, before this LGU received this particular amount by a form of to their treasury, no, in a form of the advice is to debit account. Now I would like to jump off to Land Bank. Before Land Bank, can you confirm that?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The NCAs and the SAROs were attached in the fund transfer vouchers.
Okay, thank you. Do you have? I have here a letter submitted to you that this is the list of all local government beneficiaries of fiscal year 2024. Local Government Support Fund. Is this the same document that referenced earlier by Congressman Mujib Hataman? Can you confirm?
Again, sir, my answer that the NCAs and the SAROs are attached is, again, hindi pa ho tapos yung audit. So, ongoing pa po yung audit. So, I have not 100%. Usually po sa conduct po ng aming audit, we do not do 100% because we are allowed to do sampling. There are allowed techniques in the conduct of the actual audit. So, as of now, sir, I cannot comment that all of the releases, there were attached SAROs or NCAs because, again, sir, I would like to emphasize that the audit of the releases is still ongoing.
Yeah, but okay, thank you. Kasi nakasulat po dito, this is addressed to you, Attorney Hidjara. Ikaw ho ba yun? Attorney Hidjara Mangumpia Said?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so this is the breakdown of all the LGUs who received certain amount from the LGSF. So I was asking you if all of these LGUs have already complied with the requirement that I have mentioned.
As of now, Mr. Chair, I cannot comment if all of them because, again, the audit is still ongoing. So, based on my initial evaluation pa lang po ng mga fund transfer vouchers na evaluate ko po, there were attached NCAs and SAROs along with the other documents required for the fund release.
So sa makatwid, yung sinubmit po sa inyo ng MFBM ay incomplete. Pwede pong sabihin yon.
The latest submission by the MFBM, Mr. Chair, is not complete because only the name of the local government units as well as the amount of releases were included therein. But actually, sir, in their submissions, it is attached to the voucher itself. I don't have it with me. Okay. But again, no, the audit is still ongoing, so we can confirm that later on.
Yeah, but as far as all this, what date is actually reflected in the document or the report that submitted to you by MFBM? Para alam ko lang kung pareho tayo na binabasa.
Are you referring, Mr. Chair, to the list?
Yes.
Dated February 13? Yes po.
February 13, tama ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so andito po yung listahan lahat. So, do you mean to say that not all of these lists, this breakdown of LGUs, have already an attached SARO and NCA?
Mr. Chair,
just for the record, gusto ko lang po malaman.
Yes po, again, Mr. Chair, I cannot confirm as of now if all of these releases were supported with the SAROs and NCBs. Again, the audit is still ongoing, so I don't want to preempt the conduct of the audit, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so po pwedeng sabihin natin na may mga breakdown dito na hindi pa nakasubmit ng SARO at saka ng NSA or hindi pa nakakomply. Is it safe to assume?
Again, sir,
coming
no.
from your
I don't want to assume again, sir, because I have not conducted 100% audit of all the releases.
When do we expect that your office would be able to audit all of these LGUs, the list of the LGUs that you have submitted to you? Do you have a timeline?
I would like to refer to my supervising auditor, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
The timeline should be on or before June 30. Because we are also waiting for the audit disposition of the resident auditors.
Yeah. But can we expect, for example, a more expeditious or much faster and quicker auditing process on timeline? Would that be a far-reaching request if we probably appeal to COA to do a more faster auditing process so that we can finally say that all of these listings have already complied, all of the LGUs mentioned here have indeed complied with all the necessary requirements before the ADA is transferred or the land bank would be charged from the treasury of the municipality. May posible po ba yun, COA?
We will try our best, okay, Mr. Chair. But again, the deadline is on June 30. But again, we will try our best to complete the validation of the documents.
Thank you. Land Bank, you were listening to they have all ang COA nag-confirm sila that all of these listings ay nabigyan ng as far as they know, majority ay may SARO nag-complied and then for the releases of their ADA. Can you at least confirm to this representation that you had received various ADAs from all throughout BARM this 2025?
Again, Mr. Chair, we apologize, but that would be
bank secrecy na naman.
Bank secrecy.
Can you at least confirm that they were, kinonfirm na nga ng COA na meron na nga silang listing na merong mga LGUs dito I don't think ang LGUs dito ay sa ibang branch ito. These are an official document. Would you confirm that, COA? This is an official document, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So the
list submitted to my office is an official document and duly received by my office.
Oh, see? So can you at least confirm this, Land Bank, na meron talagang na-receive ang various ADAs all throughout the BARM in 2025? It's just a simple question, yes or no?
Absent written confirmation, written permission from the depositors, Mr. Chair, we cannot disclose bank information, deposit information.
So kung halimbawang isubpina namin, itong committee na to, halimbawa, yung mga ang land bank to provide us, hindi rin pwede.
Ito na lang with the indulgence of land bank, ito sa legal ka. But if the COA will let you to comply. Will you
Comply.
comply or not?
There is one of the exceptions to the bank secrecy law is if COA...
No, it's not stated in the bank secrecy law na exempted ng COA.
It's not.
That's the ruling of the Supreme Court. Di ba? It's a DOJ case. Tama?
It's also in the government auditing code.
Oh, but that is not in the COA. Na COA is exempted. Yun ang pinapalo ng Land Bank?
Yes. COA is the disclosure to COA in connection with its audit function is an exemption to the bank secrecy law as provided for under the government auditing code.
Okay, anyway, pero exempted ang COA. Malinaw.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Anyway, we don't need the
Anyway, Congressman Zia, ganito po, alam mo, kahit ano pa ang paikot-ikot dito ng Land Bank, pero yung mga specific question, which is, I do believe, that cannot be covered by the bank secrecy law, yun lang puntarya ko, because I can still get all those documents, not from you, but from COA. Kaya nga, sinasabi ko sa iyo, attorney, you're under oath, pinapasabit kita, titingnan ko yung posisyon ng OGCC, kasi malinaw po yun. And I will also communicate with the chairman of the Land Bank. Titingnan natin, if indeed, tama po yung opinion mo. Now, but of course, question of data, I still can get it in the COA. Tama, COA? Attorney, tama po?
Mr. Chair, as long as it is officially submitted to the Office of the Auditor or to the COA itself, and the request complies with the rules on the issuance of the documents being requested by from COA, then I think we can give the documents, as long as it follows the guidelines for providing the copies of the official documents submitted to COA.
Tama.
We have existing guidelines, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Adjong, please proceed. Huwag mo na pilitin yung Land Bank.
Anyway, kinonfirm naman ng COA yung list na to eh. Gusto ko lang kasi marinig sa Land Bank kung meron talagang na charge ng mga COA, gusto ko lang balik. Would you know, for example, would you know yung the date of the request, di ba, before they can release the LGSF to LGUs, may sa guidelines nila, they will first accept or require for the submission ng mga special request ng mga LGUs to avail of this assistance. Would you know kung naka-indicate din doon kung when was this date request were made by the LGUs? Would you know?
Based on the documents and records submitted to my office, Mr. Chair, the data for that was not included. The SBRs did not form part of the submission to the Auditor's Office of the Ministry of Finance.
So hindi nila naka-indicate yung SBRs doon, yung mga special, yung mga request nila? I'm sorry.
Yes po, but I already requested the submission of the SBRs along with the other documentary requirements in written and verbally through a meeting with the with the management of the Ministry of Finance, and they have agreed to submit all the required documentary requirements.
Thank you. And can you also submit that once you secure the document para makita po natin? Kasi nasa guidelines po nila is ang submission lang ng request shall be entertained shall be on or before December 15, 2024. So we would just like to find out if there are succeeding requests made by certain LGUs na passed beyond the deadline set under their guidelines. Thank you, COA. Paki-forward na rin po pag nag-response ang MFBM. Gusto ko lang pong tanungin si Attorney Cyrus Torrena.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Attorney, sinabi mo kanina that there was one particular LGU na dinownloadan ng 30 million. Tama po ba yun?
Sa barangay po, meron kaming nakita sa aming research na 30 million. That is Barangay Kauran, Ampatuan, and Barangay Lipak in Municipality of Pandag. Dalawa pong barangay.
Dalawang barangay, so tagti 30 million.
Tagti 30 million po. And then I tried also to total yung aming na-research kung possible ba na mag-exact ang amount doon kanina sa total na sinabi ng COA. Ang total ko kasi dito, sir, is 778,500, which is nag-coincide po sa na-mention kanina ng COA na 1,500,000.
Would you know kung ano yung status po, ano yung classification ng barangay na to? Is it
Barangay Lipak.
Yung munisipyo?
Municipality of Pandag, it's
6th class municipality.
Opo. Ang barangay Ampatuan is 3rd class po.
Okay, kasi nandito rin sa guidelines nila yung appropriate amount of assistance shall not exceed the national tax allotment received by the 6th class municipality. So, ang 30 million ba would naturally exceed already the 6th class municipality status of Pandag?
I'm not too sure on that, Your Honor.
Paano, kaya nga, so 6th class municipality, ang pagkakaintindi ko dito, yung 30 million is way above. Sa barangay yun hindi yun munisipyo. Dito,
yes, Your Honor.
Munisipyo ang sinasabi. Pero yun, barangay yun, tapos dinaw din ng 30 million. I don't think that would qualify for a barangay to receive the 30 million assistance. Kasi nandun mismo sa guidelines nila, hindi dapat mag-exceed ngayong 6th class municipality. So normally, po pwedeng 6th class municipality, I don't know how to compute, but DBM, would you know?
Mr.
Based
Chair?
sa guidelines, how would you interpret this guideline? Ito, guidelines nila ito,
Mr. Chair, as to the guidelines of the Bangsamoro and the interpretation of the level of municipality, I think it will be best po na si BLGF, si DOF yung makasagot dun sa classes of the municipalities po. Thank you po.
Pero wala kayong idea, hindi BM? Since you're also part of the preparation of the budget?
Budget po ng BARB?
Kasi we are talking about the status of a munisipyo that corresponds to the assistance according to this it would correspond with the amount of assistance that the LGU should receive as far as the LGSF is concerned, that it should not at least exceed yung classification of 6th class municipalities according to the national tax allotment. So 30 million for a barangay in a 6th class municipality is masyadong mataas yun.
Sir, Mr. Chair, as to the
wala ko kayong idea.
Wisdom of choosing the
in your own, sige, sabihin na lang natin in your own previous experience, how would you, for example, classify budgeting sa mga ganitong klaseng 6th class municipalities with 30 million in your own opinion based on the experience that you had? 30 million, would that still constitute a proper amount to receive by a barangay in a 6th class municipality?
Mr. Chair, I'm not in the position to...
I'm just asking your opinion. I'm not your expertise, but as an ordinary, one who is working in the Department of Budget and Management, how long have you been working in the department?
More than 20 years, sir.
See? So at least meron kang idea. Can you at least give us... Would you say, okay, ganito na lang, para hindi ka, would you say that this is too much for a barangay in a 6th class municipality to receive the LGSF? Sinabi kanina ni na sila pa mismo yung, di ba yung Manong, sila pa yung mag-accountable doon sa budget nila, no? I mean, yung pag-implement, pag-utilize. Would you agree with me? My interpretation medyo mataas. Pondo.
Sir, kasi po yung na-mention po is yung basis is yung NTA po, no? As far as do sa NTA po kasi po, it has several factors po. And it does not, at the moment, as far as my information is, knowledge is concerned, na hindi po kino-consider po do sa computation as to the NTA amount, yung kung 4th or to the 6th municipality po siya.
Yeah, but it's under their guidelines sila nag-set nito eh. But anyway, Mr. Chair, I'd like to request that we invite the Department of Finance, Bureau of Local Government Ano yun? Hindi. Can you use the microphone para ano? BLGF. Okay. Mr. Chair, for the next committee hearing.
Second.
Hindi, naano ko na. Na-move.
Second.
There's a motion to invite representative from BLGF. The next hearing, duly seconded. In objections, the chair says none. The motion is carried. COMSEC directed to prepare a letter inviting the representative from BLGF.
Attorney, mayroon ka pa bang alam ng mga munisipyo na magkakapare-pareho ng 30 million or magkakaiba-iba?
Yung 30 million na sinabi ko po, Your Honor, is sa barangay po, yun ang pinaka malaking nakatanggap sa barangay.
But other barangays?
Dalawang barangay po yung 30 million. Yung others is, kasi ang nasa listahan ko po na nakita ko, from 10 million to 30 million po ang bawat barangay. Nag-vary siya, sir.
Mr. Chair, may I ask the Vice Mayor of Cotabato City? Vice Mayor.
Yes, Honorable.
Vice Mayor, nakatanggap din ho ba ang LGSF ng Cotabato City? No, hindi ho ba?
Yes po. As per the evidences na nandito po sa akin ngayon, meron pong na-receive ang LGU Cotabato City.
Paano po pag sa inyong, alimbawa, procurement, hindi ho ba, kasi syempre magpo-procure kayo, hindi ho ba? Kasi nandito sa guidelines sila, ang paggamit ng LGSF is subject to the procurement law, budgeting, etc. Di ba? Tama po ba yon?
Yes po.
So pag gagamitin po ninyo yung pondo na dinownload sa inyo sa Cotabato City, normally pag gagamitin yan, kailangan ng city ordinance, hindi ho ba?
Kailangan po ng appropriation ordinance.
Okay. So, doon sa particular na magkano po ba yung na-download sa Cotabato City?
As per the copy that we have received, Mr. Chair, meron pong na-receive na 150 million pesos last December 20, 2024.
150 million pesos.
Yes
Anong
po.
date po ito na-receive nila?
December 20,
2024.
2024.
Isang bagsakan lang to? Or in trans?
Isang bagsakan lang po.
Isang bagsakan.
Yes po.
Nagamit na po ba ito? Portion ng, portion ng 150 million?
As per information, Mr. Chair, meron pong naibid amounting to 75 million pesos last January.
Sinong nag-implement nito? Ang city government?
Hindi po kami aware, Mr. Chair, dahil nga po, meron kaming letter addressed to the executive, but they refuse to respond on our letter.
Hindi ba pa bago nila gamitin itong pondo na ito, kailangan nila ng authorization from the SB?
Kailangan po.
Okay, so nag-adapt kayo, being a vice mayor na presiding officer ka ng SB, nag-adapt ba kayo? Would you know? Can you recall that there was an instance where you authorize, for example, the mayor or anybody to procure or utilize or implement these funds?
Hindi po. Pati po yung pag-download ng 150 million pesos noong December 2024, hindi po aware ang Sangguniang Panlungsod.
Okay.
That is why we write a letter addressed to the executive and addressed to the MFBM para po to confirm kung tinanong po namin kung tino-confirm ba nila na meron na i-download na 150 million pesos sa Cotabato City or wala. But wala po silang response dun sa letter namin.
Kailan po ninyo, ano yung sulat na yun? Sinulatan niyo yung MFBM, Mr. Chair?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Kailan po yan sinulatan?
Check ko po muna, Mr. Chair.
Can you, Mr. Chair, we'd like to request a copy of that letter para makita po natin paano po yung determination ng MFBM. Kasi mukhang magkakaiba-iba ang binibigay na LGSF na amount. Merong 30 million, 150, may 2 million, may 500. So, hindi uniform yung budgeting. Kaya nga, baka nga talaga, hindi nagmamatter sa kanila yung request ng LGU. In fact, there's also an information that I gather na may mga LGU, may mga barangays na nagsulat sila, hindi sila tatanggap, pero dinownloadan pa sila, which is actually a violation of their guidelines. Kasi ang sinasabi sa guidelines, kailangan muna may request, ma-assess ng Chief Minister bago nila downloadan. The reason for that request is para ma-determine kung ano yung klaseng support ang gusto ng LGU. Kasi nakalista po dito, Mr. Chair, yung lahat ng mga menu or program na paggagamitan ng request ng LGU para sa LGSF assistance. So kaya nga po nagtataka kami bakit may 30 million, may 500. Kasi baka nga talaga maski yung hindi nag-request is downloadan ng pondo. So may ano po yung letter na yan? Ano pong sabi ng MFBM? Hindi sila nag-respond? Vice Mayor?
Hindi po sila nag-respond, Mr. Chair. And sinulatan po namin sila last January 23, 2025. But until now, wala pa pong response from them.
Mr. Chair, we request a copy of that letter so that the committee may appreciate kung ano yung content ng letter. Na gusto ko lang tanungin si Vice ang COA. COA? Madam COA, Attorney? Attorney, ito po yung
Pardon, Your Honor.
Yes, sa guidelines po nila, no, tawag dito, pag-implement ng mga projects na to. Kasi ang sabi po sa guidelines, subject sa RA 9184, yung procurement law, yung auditing processes ng COA. Pag ang isang LGU dinownloadan at walang authorization, yung mayor, halimbawa, or LCE, para gamitin itong pondo na to, kasi that would also be the basis for their bids, competitive bids and awards committee para mag-operate, hindi ba? Would that be a clear violation, COA? That there was indeed a grave abuse of discretion na hindi nila kailangan ng ginamit nila ang pondo without even requiring the SB to pass an ordinance?
Again, Mr. Chair, no, I am not in position to comment on that. Kasi
No,
again,
I'm just in theory. I'm not asking you about the specific Cotabato City case. I'm asking you in theory.
So in theory, Mr. Chair, if there will be violations of RA 9184, by the way po, no, effective na po yung bagong procurement law. It's RA 12009. So if there will be violation of the new procurement law, then it's clear, sir, that kung hindi po na-follow yung provisions ng bagong procurement law po natin, there's a violation, sir. Nandun naman po yun sa batas.
Pag sinabi po dun sa guidelines na kailangan nila itong reference about reference doon sa procurement law, ano bang requirement sa procurement law? Hindi ba kailangan, for example, the LCU, before they can actually implement and utilize the funds, they need an ordinance from the SB? Hindi ho ba tama yun?
There is no mention of an ordinance in the guidelines, sir. So ang nakalagay lang po dito sa
reference nila is procurement law eh.
Yes, sir. Ang nakalagay lang po sa guideline, let me just emphasize po, ang nakalagay lang po sa Bangsamoro Budget Circular 2024-010 is that in the implementation and utilization of the LGSF fund, it has to comply with the provisions of RA 9184. Then yun pong provisions ng RA 9184, it is deemed read in the provisions of the Budget Circular.
So do you mean to say that there are certain special arrangement when it comes to utilization of LGSF simply because the guidelines does not mention anything about that? And
No, Mr. Chair. Let me just clarify po again. No? The circular mentions na mag-a-apply po yung RA 9184. So, meaning to say po, yung provisions ng RA 9184, now the new procurement law, the RA 12009, it is deemed read on the, kumbaga sir, parang implied na po siya na it has to be complied by the local government units in their implementation of the project which is sourced from the LGSF fund.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, I think COA is not, in a way, when it comes to the releases and implementation of this LGSF, they're not competent to answer these questions simply because their only concern, according to you, is the releases. Diba?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and so far as the MFBM is concerned, as the auditor of the MFBM is concerned,
okay.
My jurisdiction is only on the releases of the funds.
Hopefully, Mr. Chair, by next time that we can secure, we really need to secure the participation and attendance of all those invited guests from the BARM. Kasi mukhang wala talaga tayong matatapos dito without their participation. Ang Land Bank, they are invoking the bank secrecy law. Ang COA, sinasabi nila, their only concern is the releases of the funds. So how would we be able to know exactly what happened and how the LGSF funds were actually utilized and released? So I think, Mr. Chair, it is incumbent upon this committee to make sure that all the invited guests from BARM should attend, at the very least, by Zoom, kung ayaw nila ng physical presence, Mr. Chair, in the next committee hearing. I have several questions I'd like to ask, Mr. Chair, pero hindi competent ang mga guests na nandito, Mr. to answer this question.
Anyway, Aridan.
Yes.
Anyway, kaya nga pinapatawag natin next hearing. Residents COA at the same time yung sa COA Central so that they can answer the query raised by the members. Before I recognize Congressman DML Mujib Ataman, DBM, wala ako kanina but you were asked about the ceiling for LGSF for barangay. Sabi mo, for example, yung 30 million. Di ba 5 lang?
Sa 2024 guidelines po, it's 5 million for the barangays and for exceptional reasons like yung mga disaster-related, pwede pa po silang mag-request for additional.
Pag may calamities, etc. Special cases yun, di ba? Sa special cases yun yung sinasabi mo.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
May exception doon.
Yun po yung exception.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you po.
Now, with regards to municipalities and province, yung province dito, 30 million lang. This is the local budget circular 155.
For the 155 po, the province, it's maximum 30. Amount of 30.
Yeah, 30.
And then city, 20, and municipality,
but hearing from the,
for AIX.
But hearing from the statement from the Vice Mayor of Cotabato, 150 million in one tranche. While the province is only 30 million. And city is only 20, municipality is only 10, and barangay is only 5. Yung releases. COA, are you familiar with this? Local Budget Circular 155 of DBM.
No, Mr. Chair.
No, kindly check it. Kasi ang sinasabi nyo kasi kayo lang in charge sa releases. But you have also to follow the guidelines coming from the DBM, particularly the Local Budget Circular 155. Ito malinaw. Maximum for the province is 30 million. City is only 20 million. Municipality is 10. Barangay is 5.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Opo. May I also highlight na yung LBC 155, ang coverage po niya is yung mga LGSF FA to LGUs that is consistent with the 2024 GAA po. So, hindi po namin kino-cover po yung GAAB ng Bangsamoro po.
Hindi nga eh. Eto na naman tayo, di ba? Malinaw na yung, ang BARM is considered LGU. Malinaw na yun. Anong BARM? Is it another republic, a different republic, that they cannot be considered an LGU? Malinaw po.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Just for clarification po, ito po ay yung dun sa inallocate natin sa GAA po.
Yeah,
because po, yung sa BARM po kasi po, sabi po, it's funded under the
Black Grant. Alam ko po, but ang guidelines, all guidelines should follow and consistent with the guidelines of the national agencies. Kahit saan pa yan. Pag DSWD, they should follow it. Though yan ay black grant. Now, it's still legal issue, but sinasabi ko lang po, based on the local budget circular nyo, malinaw po dito. Anong pagkakaiba ngayon ng province of Negros Occidental or the Negros Island Region or Region 6 doon sa BARM? Di ba? It's still a region under the Republic of the Philippines. Kaya COA, attorney, please take note on this.
Yes, Mr. Chair,
Can
but
they
may I just manifest, sir, that as to the applicability of the DBM guidelines, the DBM guidelines on the releases of the LGSF, may I invite your attention, sir, that in the GAAP for 2024, it was indicated there that the MBM has the authority to prescribe or issue guidelines on the release and reporting of the funds, which is why po...
But, ma'am, sorry, attorney, but it should be consistent with the law. And the law states, ang BOL, malinaw po, na BARM is considered a local, an LGU. Malinaw po yun, ma'am. And if it is considered local, it should follow, if guidelines, all guidelines being implemented by the BARM should be consistent with the national guidelines of any agencies. Pwede ba yun, ma'am? For example, DSWD ng Negros Occidental, maximum for boreal is only 10,000. Then here comes the BARM. They can release 1 million. Di ba? Eh, sinasabi ko nga overreaching. But the law is very clear. Anyway, ako ma'am, attorney, ako hindi ako lawyer, you're a lawyer. But I think you should just get the legal opinion of your legal sa central with regards to that. Kasi malinaw po specific provision of the Bangsamoro Organic Law and consistent with the Supreme Court ruling. Yes, Congressman Mujib.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ma'am, kanina, may tanong lang ako, ma'am. In case of conflict, sinasabi ng BOL, between national law pati regional law, ang masusunod is national law. Di ba? Nasa provision yan ng BOL. Second, in case of conflict ng legislation, anong circular, pati kung ano yung sa BOL, ma'am, ano yung masusunod? Yung special law nila or yung Bangsamoro Organic Law?
Mr. Chair, I cannot comment on that because that is a question of law and that is beyond my
pero,
audit jurisdiction.
Siyempre, ma'am, kung ano yung, una lawyer ka, ako hindi po ako lawyer. Pero sinasabi ko lang, based doon sa mga sinasabi nila, in case of conflict ng special law, pati yung provision ng Bangsamoro Organic Law, anong masusunod?
Again, Mr. Chair, I would like to defer for if there is a need for us to request for legal opinion before the legal office of COA, we will do so po. And we will submit in due time the legal position of the COA as regards the matter.
Ma'am, kanina kasi sinagot nyo ho yung issue ng validity ng appropriation na 2 years, di ba? Kasi nasa BAAB yun. Tama? Di ba kanina?
Yes po. Specifically po, nasa GAAB po siya ng 2024.
Yeah. Pero ma'am, sa Article 12, Section 19, second sentence ng second paragraph ng Bangsamoro Organic Law, ang sinasabi niya rito, any unspent amount in the current year's block grant shall revert to the Bangsamoro Treasury under a special fund for reappropriation. Actually, sinabi talaga yan. So, ang hindi ko nga maintindihan, but anyway, ma'am, hindi naman talaga sa inyo yon. Pero ang sinasabi ko, merong provision sa BOL. Kaya yung issue ng 2 years validity is inconsistent sa provision ng Section 12 ng Bangsamoro Organic Law. Kasi nga sabi ko kanina, di ba si local government, pag meron silang savings, ibalik nila sa general fund nila, tapos i-appropriate nila. Kasi nga, ang category talaga, even sa ruling ng Supreme Court, sa issue ng synchronization, based sa structure ng Constitution, is local government ang autonomous region. Kaya yun yung binabalik ko lang yung point. At ito ho, nire-enforce to ng Article 12, Section 19 nung second sentence ng second paragraph. I hope, just for the record, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, DML Hataman. Any more from the members?
Meron lang akong gustong tanungin, Mr. Chair. Balikan ko lang yung sa 63 barangays. Last na lang, Mr. Chair.
Sige. Anyway, hindi natin talaga ito makuha yung mga details because the BARM officials is not present. No? Then we will invite the COA pa saka yung sa DBM. Anyway,
I think
please.
ang COA, Mr. Chair, what was the agreement kanina? The COA?
The residents
national
COA
na?
at saka yung central dapat dumalo next hearing. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. I'd just like to find out doon po sa sinubmit sa inyo ng MFBM. Alam po ng COA saan dinownload itong yung mga special geographic area? Saan po nila na-download? Anong LGU nila dinownload? Diretso ba sa munisipyo nila?
As far as I know, Mr. Chair, but I will validate, no, it was downloaded to the MILG. That is my initial verification, but I will validate later on, sir. Because again, I would like to emphasize that the audit is still ongoing.
Yeah, you don't need to emphasize that, COA. Gusto ko lang malaman because under the guidelines and even the special provision po ng LGSF, only local government units will be recipient of the LGSF. MILG is not an LGU. It's an agency. Dapat probinsya, munisipyo, barangay. So I'm just wondering why sa kanila ito, sa BARM ang nag-adapt nitong guidelines na to at saka yung special provisions. Special provision ng LGSF. Ang sinasabi doon, LGUs lang ang recipient ng LGSF. Kaya nga tinawag na local government units eh. So I'm just wondering why the funds for this particular municipio comprising of the special geographic area was downloaded to MILG. That would be a clear violation of their guidelines and their special provision. So, COA, you would need to verify pa kung saan nila na-download.
Yes,
Pero
Mr.
MILG
Chair.
ang mo.
We will validate, sir.
Yeah,
where
kasi
it was
pareho tayo ng information sa MILG nila dinownload itong pera na to, which is a clear violation. Again, MILG is not an LGU. Again, thank you very much for that, Mr. Chair. Thank you, COA.
Thank you, Your Honor. Any other member of the committee who would want to interpolate?
Wala yung walang...
Any resource person who would want to speak his mind out before we suspend the hearing?
Mr. Chair, may I just make some request for the committee to adopt maybe a motion. I'd like to make this into formal motion. I move, Mr. Chair, that we request the following documents: the special budget requests, assessment of the MFBM OCM on the SBRs submitted, recommending the amount to be released to the requesting LGUs. Number 3, all of those LGUs who have already been released with the LGSF, their SAROS and the NSA. And number 4, lastly, the authority to debit account, the ADA, the document for that, Mr. Chair. May I move that if there's a need to subpoena this, Mr. Chair, then I would do so. But since I believe MFBM and the BARM would comply with all these requests, I move that we request the following documents that were mentioned, Mr. Chair. So move.
Any second? There's a motion to request the BARM authorities for the following documents: special budget request or SBRs, the assessment of MFBM on the SBR submitted recommending the amount to be released to the requesting LGU, the SARO and NCA of the LGSF, and the authority to debit account from the Bangsamoro authorities. Duly seconded. Is there any objection to such motion? Hearing none, the motion is carried. COMSEC is hereby directed to direct the Bangsamoro authorities to submit the enumerated documents.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Sir Chair, may I also request the committee that perhaps we can, I don't know which agency would we properly direct this directive, Mr. Chair, that since I think there's a pending there's still a succeeding releases of amounts that would cover the LGSF. Since we are holding this investigation, perhaps we can request from the appropriate agencies to at least put that in abeyance, the releases of all these, the additional billions of pesos that would be released in the form of LGSF assistance to the LGUs, while we are all, while this investigation is pending, Mr. Chair, because that it actually brings too many questions on the manner by which the LGSF is being held and being utilized, Mr. Chair. Unless, of course, there are members who would like to say a few words or comment on the request of this representation. Mr. Chair.
COA, yung bang 6.5 billion hindi pa na-release totally?
Mr. Chair, it's 6.4 billion something.
Yes.
So total releases na po yun as of February 13, 2025.
So completely released?
Yes po, based on the report of summary of releases submitted to the auditor or to the auditor's office or to the COA.
Okay. So wala nang marirelease
Kasi
dahil
may fear, kanina
na-release
kasi,
na lahat eh.
Kanina kasi I learned that yung 2-year effectivity nung yung ano nila, yung pondo nila eh. So since we are assured that already COA, no, talagang lahat na release and there will be no other succeeding releases.
I cannot comment, Mr. Chair, as of now because this is the data submitted to me as of February 13, 2025. And this pertains only to the 2024 po, 2024. As far as I know, and again, I will validate later, the 2025 GAAB, wala pa daw pong releases for LGSF. But again, I will validate po.
Thank you. Governor Adjong,
Mr. Chairman, yung mga releases po is 2024. Bale, yung funding for LGSF for 2024, na-release na po ng buo, Mr. Chairman. Ngayon po, ang sinasabi po natin, yung releases ng 2025, yun ang sinasabi natin, baka pwede natin muna hold in abeyance pending sa investigation ng committee.
Sir Chair?
Yes.
Yes. I think yung wala na problema sa COA yung releases, but I think that's disbursement. So Land Bank ata ang may authority nito. Can we at least ask Land Bank? Would that be, since there's an investigation, an inquiry on the propriety or the manner by which these funds are being utilized and being disbursed, can the Land Bank at least, can we request Land Bank to at least put in hold yung disbursement ng mga pondo na ito? Habang may pinag-imbestiga natin, Mr. Chair, itong paggamit ng pondo ng LGSF. Mr. Chair, I'd like to convert that into motion. I move that we direct the Land Bank to at least hold in abeyance the disbursement of these funds, Mr. Chair, prior to the
Land Bank, could you please comment on the motion first?
Raj, would you like to say that? Yeah, would that be legally sound if we request that to Land Bank?
We cannot hold that.
Kaya nga sa presidente na tayo ng Land Bank pupunta
Yeah, wala silang authority. No comment.
May I ask DBM, in relation to the issue raised by the Honorable Adjong, yung 2025 na LGSF, na-release na ba ninyo?
Mr. Chair, we just issued the guidelines last February 24.
Hindi ko
it's
naman
already
tinatanong
published.
kung yung guidelines ay
sir.
na-issue.
Opo.
Ang tanong ko po na-release na ba yung LGSF as part of the block grant of the Bangsamoro government?
I-unpack ko lang po yung na-mention po. As far as the ABG, which is yun yung ginagamit po for 2025 ng BARM government po, ay ito po ay comprehensively released ng BAA po na national po siya, and receive na mga request, and therefore wala pa po kaming mapaprocess for fund release, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Specifically, may na-release na ba doon sa LGSF talaga? From DBM?
For 2025 GA, wala pa po, Mr. Chair.
Wala pa. Now, could you answer the query of the Honorable Adjong? Kasi kayo po ang may power nun eh. Hindi naman land bank eh. Hindi pwedeng i-hold ng land bank yung pag nag-withdraw yung kliyente nila. So it's DBM.
Mr. Chair, for that, may we clarify on the process ng kung paano po dinadownload yung funds. So we release the SARO and NCA to the BTR, and the BTR will release it dun sa mga banks and ng mga specific LGUs po. So that they're guided with our monthly requirement schedule or MRS na part po ng NCA po. So, kung halimbawa pong na-mention po doon sa MRS na February po ida-download po ni BTR yung pondo doon sa specific LGU po. Kung meron po kaming nirelease na SARO and NCA, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
You're telling this committee that there's no way for DBM not to release the funds simply because Congress is conducting an investigation on the issue.
Mr.
Is
Chair,
that what you're telling us?
Mr. Chair, once we receive po yung instruction po in written form, malamang po is ito po yung magiging basehan din po namin for us para po entirely itigil muna po yung pag-release po nung mga marireceive po namin na LGSF for 2025, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Ano po? I did not get you. Wala pong, o may rason pa ba na pwedeng itigil ito from DBM? Wala. Yung pag-release.
Mr. Chair, subject to sa guidelines po kasi po namin, once na ma-receive yung request, we process it po accordingly. But as to yung ma-release ba talaga yung SARO and NCA po, we may take consideration na po yung na-mention in this August body po na ipatigil at the moment na ongoing po yung investigation. But that will be subject po syempre po do sa approval po ng higher authorities po. Hindi ko po mention right now.
Thank you po. The Honorable Hataman.
Mr. Chair. Di ba ang releases nyo naman monthly?
For NTA and ABG po, yung
yung Black Grant, nire-release nyo yan monthly. So, kumbaga, kung ang Black Grant is 90 billion, i-divide nyo yan to 12.
Correct po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Tapos monthly ang
Yes po,
releases.
Mr. Chair.
So, hindi nun nyo ma-distinguish dyan kung ano yung class expense nila. Ang magdi-define yan, yung regional government ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region.
Correct po, Mr. Chair.
So, kung gusto nila halimbawa, meron silang halimbawa LGSF for 2025, hindi pa maabutan ng election ban, nasa kanila yan kung gusto nilang mag-release. At kung magkano i-allocate nila doon sa monthly. Halimbawa, buwan ng January, naka-release na tayo, si DBM.
Yes po, may fiscal autonomy po sila, Mr. Chair.
Yung February, naka-release na kayo.
For the ABG, yes po, Mr. Chair. But I'm not quite certain po kasi si BTR po yung nagda-download mismo po. So,
kaya nga.
Yes po.
Kasi kung monthly. Kaya, ang tanong ko sa COA, for 2025, COA wala pang na-release LGSF? For LGU?
Yes, Mr. Chair, for 2025.
For
GAAB.
2025 ng GAAB, so wala pa.
Wala pa po.
So
But
far.
again po, I will verify po.
Yeah. So far, sa ngayon, wala pa. Kasi hindi, Mr. Chair, ako ang tingin ko, hindi rin natin talaga makontrol yung pag-release. Kasi hindi si DBM ang mag-determine kung magkano ang LGSF. Kasi ang class expense is defined by GAAB.
Pero kung budget for doon sa LGSF, in which ito ngayon yung cover ng investigation, tingin ko pwede. And COA pwede rin. May compulsory power ng COA, but of course, that's the prerogative of the central office. If yung evaluation nila ay kailangan talaga. Kaya nga kailangan natin invite yung yung COA Central.
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes.
Yes, from Datuudin Sinswat Municipality. In our case po kasi, sir, hindi kami connected kay Land Bank. Development Bank of the Philippines po yung account po ng ang bangko po namin. So, baka po makonsider din po yung DBP. Thank you.
DBP Cotabato.
Apo.
Ayun. Comsec, please take note. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair.
Before I recognize Attorney Torrena, yes, Gob, you're raising your hand.
Hindi lang po, Mr. Chairman, ang DBP. Andiyan pa yung veterans. Veterans bang na nagda-down. May mga LGUs, Mr. Chairman, na doon ang bangko nila.
Okay, anyway, Comsec is directed to invite representative from veterans from sa BARM. Yes, Attorney.
Dito kasi sa side ng Maguindanao del Sur, meron ding DBP Tacorong. So, outside siya ng BARM ang branch. It's in Sultan Kudarat. Ang malapit doon sa Tacorong ay nagtatacorong po rather than DBP Cotabato.
Pero DBP din.
DBP
Attorney.
rin po,
Okay.
sir.
All the more that we have to invite a representative from DBP on the next hearing. Comsec, please take note of that. So, any more? It's almost 5 o'clock and we have around 100,000 views. Na naman.
Ilan?
Anyway.
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes, Vice.
In the case of Cotabato, Mr. Chair, we would like to recommend that the members of the Local Finance Committee of Cotabato City be also invited to shed light on us para malaman po natin kung na-disburse na ba nila yung pera or wala. Kung wala po, di para mahingan natin sila ng zero utilization report. Thank you po, Honorable Chair.
Sorry, Vice. Anong nirequest nyo? Sorry talaga. Ano yun?
We recommend, Mr. Chair, that the members of the Local Finance of Cotabato City be also invite on the next committee hearing para po malaman natin kung na-disburse na ba yung pera na na-download sa Cotabato City or wala pa.
Ang dami na natin. Kailangan natin siguro. People Center siguro. Anyway, duly noted, Vice. Comsec, please take note on the request of the Vice Mayor of Cotabato.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Not only Cotabato, I think even other concerned areas.
Anyway, ako wala akong problema. Pwede naman tayo dun sa People Center. Ang ano ko lang baka mamaya, we will invite, ganun po karaming, imbitahan natin, tapos hindi rin matanong, kayo maganda kayo ng mga itatanong nyo. Baka mamaya, hindi rin natin maubos matanong, di sayang din yung oras sa mga taong inimbitahan natin.
Mr. Chair, mas marami ang dadalo next kasi marami tayong in-invite. Maganda ngayon kung saan tayo nagkukwad.
Hindi kaya nga sa People Center. What I mean is, baka hindi rin natin matanong because napakarami.
Mr. Chair.
Sigurado kayo, pagandaan nyo. Anyway, okay. The request of Congressman Deputy Minority Leader Hataman is duly noted. Comsec, please take note. Okay. Any more? Chairman, ako.
Since there's no more issue to be raised by our colleagues, may I respectfully move that we suspend the hearing?
Mr. Chair, just query. When is our next hearing? Before you act on the motion of Congressman Ako.
We will just inform, of course, the protocol and the rule of the House is that it should be 3-day rule. No, 3 days before the hearing, you will receive an invitation. But I just like to inform everyone that all those resource persons present today and was invited today and absent, you are all automatically invited in the next hearing unless You want to be excused, you send us an excuse letter po. Thank you. So there's a motion to suspend?
Sir,
Yes.
can we schedule the next hearing next week, early next week, Mr. Chair?
Tingnan po natin kasi alam mo, ako wala akong problema. Ang problema ko lang lagi yung mga members, no, availability ng mga members. But ako wala akong problema. Oh.
Bakit?
Next week will be start of
na yan.
Ramadan daw.
Kulang ang budget kahit Ramadan, kulang pakainin, kulang gastos.
Anyway, pag-usapan na lang po natin, no? And we'll inform all the resource persons and the members of this committee.
Mr. Chair, kaya ko lang nire-raise yung issue ng, kasi may urgency yung issue na to. Kasi hindi maliit na bagay. At malaking interest ng Bangsamoro ang stake dito. Kasi hindi ito 1 milyon, 2 milyon.
I think, Congressman Mujib, you better talk with Congressman Adjong and then Deputy Speaker Balindong because on the side, nakausap ko po sila and they propose to have a hearing 2 weeks from now. Kasi daw ang Ramadan will start next week. So, there's a motion to suspend the hearing.